All right, everybody. Welcome again to another episode from The Unprofessionals. I'm James.
I'm Noel.
Justin.
All right, and today we just wanted to go ahead and actually highlight 2015, considering, it's almost going to be the end of the year.
Happy New Year!
So, there's been a lot that we've definitely got into. Some things great, some things not so great. So we just wanted to go ahead and just showcase and highlight some of the things that we thought were great for the year 2015. Justin, we'll go ahead and start with what was disappointing for the year. What did we think was the biggest disappointment?
Surprise us.
It's not a surprise because I talk to you guys all the time, but the biggest disappointment for me was Batman Arkham Knight.
Ouch.
This is how it happened. This is how the Batman died.
Okay.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
I did not play the game, so all I hear on the chat, our chat program is like, you guys are always complaining about something. So
you did yourself a favor.
To be honest. I loved Arkham City, but how you guys are explaining it,
Well, the Teresa where I saved you.
We took a bullet for you.
I was about to buy it at the time, and then I kind of held off because you guys were talking a lot of crap about it. But what was the downside to it?
Probably within the first 20 minutes, when I finally got to control the Batmobile, that was the biggest turn off for me, because I didn't like the way it played. It was it felt super clunky. It didn't turn well, and it was just a tank that they force you to use a lot. Eventually, a lot of the portion of the game they force you to use it, and that really turned me off. I wanted to play as Batman, use the glide, and which that has, but they force you to use the Batmobile to travel more than the glide.
Okay.
So what was the tagline again for that game? Be the Batman. You were the Batmobile. You were the Batmobile.
Be the Batmobile.
There was this kid in line when I was picking it up. He's like, I can't wait to be the Batman. Well, you're in for a surprise because you're not going to be in for this game. Coming from the whole trilogy, or at least the first two, which were Asylum and City. Those are progressively better, from the boss fights to the world itself. And for this one, it really just took a step back in a lot of ways. Gotham City, that was the modeling of that was really good. The scale of it was very good. Mm-hmm. But as far as just what to the extras that they gave you aside from the story itself, just wasn't so great. It was more of just the same of what you're doing already in the story, which were the stealth missions and surviving using the combat. And it's just that, but it's not required. It was just extra stuff for you to do, but it was just the same thing every time.
Yeah.
And going back to the Batmobile, what Justin was saying, I get it's the Batmobile. It's not a normal car. It's supposed to have that erratic feeling, but the thing is, it's just not even fun to use. Yeah.
Screw you.
Yeah, it's really not. And you're forced to just use it so much, and it gets really repetitive and really redundant. But I guess considering just that being the disappointment, the good things about the game, if you're a follower of Batman lore, it's a good addition. It's a good take on it. I'll say that much. So that's a good thing.
But we figured that out pretty quick.
Yeah, it comes pretty obvious as to.
But there are some really good parts in the story that I didn't expect to be in there.
A lot of jump scares too.
Well, expanding on what you said earlier, where you like the gliding and whatnot. I only played Arkham City on PS3, and that was actually my first Batman game by
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, these guys convinced me to play it. They said it's good, and I really enjoyed it. I really did, and I love the gliding around and then picking your spots and picking the enemies.
Combat's always been good. The hand-to-hand stuff.
Was it like that in?
Yeah. The combat's still good. You just don't. I guess you kind of gotta go out there and do it yourself. You don't really do it too much during the story missions.
Okay.
Sometimes I felt like I was like kind of missing things though, like a lot of counters, I guess.
Yeah.
Not as
and like they had more
Yeah,
counters to like your stuff, which I didn't like either.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess it's fine. It's an evolution.
Well, I heard it was in Origins too. Like enemies can counter your counters.
Oh, really? Even your gadgets, they had like counters for that too. Like weren't some of them invisible during like the detective mode and stuff like that?
Oh, that was there in they had like the jammers and stuff.
Did they have that in City?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember that. You had to find the dude with the signal jammer.
Oh yeah.
And just it could have used a lot better boss fights because that really lacked.
It didn't have any boss fights.
Yeah, like compared to
Really?
No,
actually
not
no.
really.
Yeah,
Like a one-on-one kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah. I think City, in my opinion, had some of the best. Definitely.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze is still one of my favorites.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite boss fights of all time. Okay, so I think we've highlighted Batman enough. But I mean, if you've played the games before, it's definitely worth, something to check out, I'd say. So
I mean, like, okay, so how is the story? Like, did it give you closure? Because I know at the end of Batman Arkham City, for me, there isn't. I mean, it was perfect, but there wasn't enough closure. It kind of there was like a little loose ends,
Oh yeah.
So what did this do for you guys? Spoiler alert, just in case if they say anything.
I guess it does. I mean,
it does close out the sort of. I don't know if you saw the other ending. Like.
Oh, I haven't. No. I was gonna do it the real way, and that's to like do everything in the game, but that's where I just was like, this is too much.
I don't want to play this anymore. I was gonna watch it on YouTube.
Yeah. I've been even lazy to pull up YouTube videos for it. So.
And you guys were like complaining about the DLCs as well.
Oh right, yeah, that's another thing. So as far as the season pass itself, it was pretty much priced as much as the regular game, which is like $50-$60 price tag.
That is.
But they try to justify it showing a list of all the content, and like reading it on paper, you're like, yeah, this is a lot of stuff. But
a lot of crap I don't need
it's
and don't want.
Basically what it is just like extra 10 minutes or depending.
Play as this character, but then doing the actual mission or whatever they give you is only like 10 minutes long. Like the Harley one that came free, that was like only 10 minutes. I beat it like in 10 minutes.
I didn't even play that. I didn't play that. I got the Red Hood one for pre-order. Didn't even play that. So
this game was really that much of a disappointment.
Yeah, and it just
because we had such high hopes for it.
Right, because it just didn't seem like
hopes.
It didn't seem like just like a cash grab because like Rocksteady was actually doing it.
Yeah.
Because that's the reason why I skipped over Origins was because Rocksteady wasn't, and it's just like, oh, it's just they're just putting it out there just to get some
milking
extra
the
money.
franchise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So it's just kind of sad to see it go in this direction. Okay, so I think we've covered that topic.
We can move on to something else.
What else was disappointing for the year?
I don't know. There was a lot of disappointments and surprises for me. I would say Dying Light would be a disappointment for me just because it felt... I mean, it was like, you're on this kind of like island and you're on, or like city or whatever. You're fighting zombies, you're on this path. Maybe the combat system was a little bit different. You had these perks and skills and whatnot, but I don't know, it just didn't seem like engaging to me. Like, I'm just running around mindlessly beating zombies, trying to, solve these missions, do the missions, and solve the story, or like get to know what happened or whatever. But I mean, there was no real substance to it for me. I mean, we all played it, so
right? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you guys have different opinions on it.
I do.
Yeah, I actually do.
Yeah, you two have different opinions. To me, it was freaking... I don't know. It was just like... I ran through the game. I kind of did it. And... I don't think I even beat it. Because it was...
We all got up to the end.
I thought
I remember.
I thought you did. I thought you beat it with one of us.
Okay, so what's the ending? Spoiler alert. So that, because I mean, that's how unmemorable it is to me.
Well, the story's not that great, I wouldn't say. That's
No.
probably the least good point about it.
About the, yeah, I mean,
I hell enjoyed that game actually.
I did not enjoy
When the
it.
three of us played, it was fun. I mean, I gotta say though, I think it was actually better than.
Way better than I expected.
Yeah, way better. I didn't expect it to be that good, to be honest.
From Riptide, because I'm gonna compare it to Riptide. 'Cause, like, honestly, it's freaking similar to it. Like, weapons.
Well, it's a similar
and-
game.
Yeah, similar game, whatever. And I mean,
First-person
okay,
melee.
okay, you get like, you know, the
Shooting sucks.
the different
Yeah.
the different
Meant to be melee.
abilities and whatnot. You know, they expanded like on your skill system, and the fact that you can, you know, be the zombie or whatever, or you can like,
I didn't really care about it.
and then like you can parkour over things. It made like running away
I
from
thought that was
zombies.
hella fun. The parkour, I thought it was done hella well.
I thought it was good. Being like a Mirror's Edge fan
Mhm.
too, it wasn't as like crisp or refined as that game, but
Yeah.
it still had the basics. Like you could lunge over stuff, you could slide
It
and
was
jump
pretty
under.
fluid.
Yeah.
Once you got used to it.
So
I would agree. I would
Yeah.
agree on that part. As far as like, I don't know, fun factor, like in GamePro, remember they had that rating?
yeah.
Fun factor.
And the guy's face.
Yeah, no, like honestly,
Sushi
like,
X.
like 3.0 is like the guy's just like somber and shit.
Yeah.
He's just like, no, I mean, I didn't think it was really that fun. I mean, to me, it was a disappointment for $59 on PS4. I mean, it was fun when I played with you guys, but playing by myself, like single player, I don't know. It's just like I've played it before. It's like I've played this style of game. You know, it's just a combination of, you know, a bunch of other games implemented into a single game that wasn't really done, you know, wasn't as polished or wasn't done really well. I mean, that's my opinion.
I disagree.
Disagree all you want.
Agree to
You get,
disagree.
that's why it's off my system and it's still on yours.
Well, that's because I upgraded my hard drive. That's why it's still on there.
Oh, well, look at you.
I wasn't even gonna get the game in the beginning. It was
I
actually a
wasn't
gift.
either.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then I was just like, when you said,
I was
when you
gonna
two
pass
said,
on it.
when you two said you were gonna get it, I was like, all right, I'll get it. Like, or okay, I'll request that as a gift. Sure.
Yeah, one of our friends was like, "Hey, you gonna get it? I'm about to buy it right now." I was like, yeah, whatever." Put it in the cart.
Well, I mean, it's fun. Like I said, it's fun playing with you guys. You know, we had a blast. I had a blast when I was playing with you guys. But like I said, when I went to single player mode, I was just like kind of grinding it out and saying, hey, what's the next ability am I gonna get? You know, what can I unlock? What's gonna be different? Oh, it's really not that great.
It's definitely more fun with people.
Yeah.
Game, especially a game like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm a zombies fan and a Mirror's Edge fan, so I have like every zombie game. But I think this one definitely, like Riptide was supposed to be like a bigger DLC, and it was like,
Oh, that was a dick.
yeah, that was a huge
That
disappointment.
was how many years ago?
But I think Dying Light, it kind of just refined that whole franchise. I mean, like even though it's like loosely based, it's not entirely a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it outdid it definitely, and you know there's more to come for it too. Like actually the DLCs are pretty enjoyable. I liked them anyway. And if you're a season pass holder, you get the free the what is it, the following? I
The
think.
Following,
Yeah.
I think it's called.
So it's gonna be
It's like another island, I think.
yeah, and you can drive around
That
and stuff.
buggy.
I actually bought the season pass and I have not taken advantage of
I don't even
anything
have the season pass.
that had to offer. Like, I mean, I bought the game, you know, digitally, and it came with the season pass, and I was like, oh, yeah, sure.
I think if the three of us did the DLC, that would have been like fun because it's a challenge.
Well, the last DLC isn't even out yet, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, what's yours? Your disappointment of 2015.
Well, one was Batman, and then I was disappointed that PT was canceled.
Oh, yeah.
Silent
I think we
Hills.
all are.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's.
Man, like, I mean, that game, I mean,
That's one of the scariest games I've ever played.
the demo.
Like, that's a creepy ass game, and it looks hella good too.
Mhm.
I've never been so like numb with fear playing that.
That was so cool.
It was legit scary.
I think the design of it was just like super simple, but it's more of like a psychological base. I mean, there wasn't really hardly any action. All
Yeah.
it was just solving little puzzles here and there.
And that might have not
It
even.
was just a
that's probably
loop.
not even what the game was.
Right.
It's just some little tech demo that they wanted to show.
Yeah, didn't
'Cause-
really show the potential.
And that's kind of what Silent Hills was always, is like a psychological thriller,
Mhm.
mostly than an action game.
Yeah,
You know?
or like cheap scares.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
because it was always like you're low on ammo, you shouldn't be fighting. It was like Resident Evil 1 style kind of,
Mhm.
but
More puzzles,
Mhm.
more like
Konami, you screwed up.
totally did. They totally screwed up on this one. They dropped the ball.
They dropped the ball on a lot of things, but that's another thing.
Well, I mean, they did. Okay, so we'll stick on the Konami, I guess, topic. I was really disappointed in the Phantom Pain. Not gameplay wise and whatnot. I think the ending was unfinished or super rushed. Like,
It might have been.
I mean, from what the reports
That
say,
threw me for a loop, though.
it didn't for me. I
Oh.
kind of like figured out like mid game.
I was wondering why
Spoiler
some,
alerts
some certain things were
Yeah.
happening,
were happening. Yeah,
or why I did that, and then I was like, oh, I get it now.
yeah. I mean, MGO is fine to me.
That's all I played from it. Just to
Yeah.
convince me to get it, and all I played was the online. I mean, eventually I played the single player, along with the rest of the Metal Gear series, because I've only played the first, and I didn't even beat the third, and those are like the only two. But
There was one in the back.
what disappointed me about the online was when they went ahead and just changed everything. Like, you couldn't Fulton quickly anymore, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, the patch.
Oh.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
after the patch. I thought the patch was actually gonna make things like better, because I was getting my ass handed to me.
Nerfed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
They made the matchmaking better, I think, though. Or
Like, we
Easier.
stopped playing that because Battlefront, like
yeah,
the true
pretty much.
the true online shooter. I mean, maybe one of these days we'll pick it back up, see how it is, I guess.
MGO
Yeah.
was fun. Like even despite like the brokenness of the sleep grenades and CQCing people and the Fulton.
Well, they changed a lot of that stuff, though.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it was fun when it first came out, but me and Justin, we played it a lot. So
Yeah, and I really felt like I was missing out.
yeah, I mean, when you played with us, we were pretty much high leveled, and you got mixed into the bunch. You didn't really have a lot of
Like all the
tools
stuff that we had, yeah.
Right.
available
Yeah.
to you, and you're just all you could do is just stand there or just kind of scout or
And
just die.
try, shoot my heart out.
Yeah.
That's where it just really differs as far as any other online shooter. Yeah, like, you feel really underpowered.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Metal Gear. Do you guys want to add anything else?
I don't know. Disappointments.
I liked it.
You liked it?
I
You
liked
liked?
Metal Gear a lot.
I liked like I said, I liked the game. I like MGO. I liked the story, but there was a certain part of it that just kind of felt forced and rushed, and I was just like, I mean,
feel-
for me, like, Metal Gear is like, I mean, it's it's all gameplay and really good story.
Story.
It's like a whole package. This one,
Well, I think I don't know, people were always complaining about, like, which this is something I really liked about Metal Gear. Like, what you're saying is, like, it's very story heavy, and, like, I like the long, like, 30-minute cutscene, like, after I get to the point where it starts.
Mhm.
And then now I think people were complaining so much, and maybe just like Batman and the Batmobile, Kojima's probably like, hey, I'm gonna take all this crap out, and then you can
not crap though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take all this out. It's gonna be all gameplay
Yeah.
and like minimalist storyline.
Like freaking Snake did not have like
Kiefer recorded like 3 lines. In that.
yeah,
Good dog.
like no dialogue
Yeah.
at all. I mean, like in the, okay, if you go to the tapes, that's fine.
There's
like
yeah.
yeah, I
I
mean-
think that's where the story like really
Majority
is
of it.
listening, and that kind of sucks.
Really?
Like I would want to see that in a cutscene. So at least some of them.
See, this is why sometimes game companies should just not listen to fans. You get this where they remove actual story
Yeah,
from
I
a
mean,
very
I don't know if
story-heavy
that's the
based
reason,
game.
but that's what I'm thinking. That's why he made
And
it like that.
you get a Batmobile.
Yeah.
we want a Batmobile. You get a Batmobile.
Oh, yeah,
you want the
use
Batmobile.
You're gonna get the Batmobile.
Oh, you're gonna get it.
You gonna get it.
You gonna learn. You gonna learn the Batmobile. show you this long, show you this long Batmobile.
Show you good, boy.